What's good, y'all? This is Izzy, aka Kanyizzy, and we're back with another review for InventedKicks. And this week we got the Jordan Jumpman Team 1 from way back in '97 with the 2020 retro. Now, before we get into it, please give us a thumbs up if you do enjoy the content we give you today, and also hit that subscription button below so you can stay in tune with all of our content. So as soon as we get it, you guys got it, all right? Now, without further ado, as always, let's get into it, y'all. Wow, there you guys go, all right? The Jordan Jumpman Team 1, as I mentioned before. So just want to give you guys a bit of a roundabout and take a look at, all sides of the shoe and all that good stuff. Just getting your good introduction feels on. Now, I just had to do a review of these personally because I own these, back when I had that white and navy colorway. So these kind of held a special place in my heart. Now, these officially released back in 1997 for the first time. And just to give you guys a bit of a little history lesson here, Jordan brand first became its own entity. That means they first became the Jordan brand, their own company, back in 1997 when they first officially broke away from Nike. Now, Nike is still the parent company to Jordan today, but that's when they first became their own brand. And this was officially the first Team Jordan shoe that released since Jordan brand became its own company. Now, the first actual shoe to release were these right here. So this is the Jordan Jumpman Pro, which I believe was a shoe that was sported by Eddie Jones. And then you had the signature Jordans as well, like the Jordan 12 and 13. I think 13 was the first actual shoe that released as the signature Jordan model once Jordan brand broke away. It could have been the 12, depending on who you ask, but I'm gonna roll out with the 13s, y'all. Now, this is the second time that these retroed, the first being in 2014, and I didn't mess with those as well as any of the colorways that released. I think they released like all the OG colorways back then. Particularly the white, navy, and yellow. Those I actually owned back in the day in 97. And that was like the second shoe. Actually, this was the first shoe I owned, ironically. And then this was the second shoe that I ever owned, the second pair of, Jordans, if you want to call them that. And they messed those up in 2014. The entire shoe was supposed to be leather, and they made this portion right here suede. So I just really wasn't feeling them. And I think the versions of these, either the materials just weren't all that, or once I saw what they did to the Michigan colorway, I was just like, I don't even want any of them. These, I think that they did way better. The leather and all that stuff it just feels a lot better. I was way more impressed with these out the box immediately, and we'll get into that in a second. Now, I don't know what happened to Team Jordans, but I feel like the designs just are not what they used to be. Back in like 97, 98, 99, I mean, they were killing it. You had shoes like these, the Jumpman Pro, which we talked about, and even the Jumpman Quick 6. So with designs like that for Team Jordans, I think that, the way that Team Jordans were perceived was just a little bit different. Casually, I think they still looked kind of dope. And the other thing was that, for them to be takedown models, especially this and like the Jumpman Pro, that kind of look like direct descendants of the Jordan 12. They didn't cost as much, so they were a little bit cheaper than your signature lines. And not only that, but they usually had a lot of similar tech specs. So these back in the day also featured a zoom air unit in the forefoot and the heel as well. So, it wasn't like you were getting a Team Jordan and it felt like a takedown model. It actually felt like just a dope ass, Jordan shoe that was being released that just wasn't the Jordan 12 or the 13 or whatever the case was. When Team Jordans first initially started off, the designs for them were really good, and I think that's something that I think stands apart. It's a striking difference between what you see with Team Jordans today, if they even are around. I feel like somewhere in like the mid-2000s, the whole Team Jordan thing kind of moved away from being sort of what you look at as like takedown models, and they started to make Team Jordan really what they would do when they would sponsor athletes. So when they would make shoes for, Randy Moss, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, so, like players like that. And I think that's what Team Jordan sort of turned into. And I don't know what happened to the designs, but like I said, they just are not as good as they used to be back in the 90s. I think they were killing everything back then, so it's kind of hard to compete with that. But these joints are fire, man, and I'm kind of really glad that I was able to finally get a proper retro of these, and I'm hoping that they do release the Michigan pair. So if anybody at Jordan Brand is watching this, please release those, and don't make this portion suede. Don't just keep this same energy. All right, now as always, let's get into the materials and the construction and all of that good stuff. All right, y'all, so getting directly into it, we got the Jordan Jumpman Team 1, which features an upper that's mostly going to be composed of all black synthetic leather. And that's fine by me because, I'm not really checking for premium materials on Team J's or anything like that. So it is what it is. But as I mentioned before, These are going to be a bit of a step up from what we saw previously with the 2014 retro. So I'll take these over those any day. Now the leather on these is a little bit stiff, but as I mentioned, it is a little bit better than what we've seen before. Now the inner lateral side actually features this white portion here, which is the underlay, and that's very similar to the overlays and those patches that you see on the Air Jordan 12, particularly the playoff colorway, which is black and white and done almost identically to what you see here with these Team J1s. Now, as we move to the upper of the shoe, the ankle portion on the medial side actually features a Jumpman logo with the red bubble. It's very similar to what you see and find on the side of Air Jordan 13s with the holographic Jordan, Jumpman, and the 23 behind it as well. Now on the heel portion, it also has the same red bubble there in varsity red, and this time it says Jordan Team, and in the middle you're going to find the Jordan Jumpman logo with basketball written in the back as well. Now other than that, they didn't really come with anything extra, just your standard white rope laces, and that's pretty much it. As far as anyone that's thinking about playing basketball with these, the soles of them are actually going to feature herringbone traction, which is really good, pretty much like the best traction you can get in terms of a basketball shoe. And then the forefoot and heel is also going to feature Zoom Air, which is a plus for a Team Jordan, especially a retro. And that's pretty much it in terms of this shoe. I will say that I love the way the black and white kind of plays off the shoe and just balances it out, especially with the little red hits and even the gray on the portions of the eye stay that kind of break up the shoe very nicely. Now, I don't have to tell you guys that these are very similar to the Air Jordan 12 playoff, so of course they have that appeal and they kind of play off of each other that way, and I think that it's really dope. But other than that, like I said, not really much to go over in terms of a Team Jordan. If you're really trying to compare Team J's, the only comparison is really going to be to the OG, because that's where you find the premium and authentic leather on the uppers and all that stuff, you know, those features that really make you kind of get excited about a new shoe. But other than that, like I said, these are done pretty solidly in my opinion, and you know, I'll take them. I think that they did a pretty good job, and hopefully we'll get the same thing with that Michigan pair. I'm gonna keep saying that until JB releases them. But that's pretty much all that I got. All right, so that's pretty much it. You know, not like I said before, not much to go over with these. I know not a lot of people are checking for extreme quality on their Jordan Jumpman Team 1s. Now, in terms of fit, with these, I think these run true to size. So if anybody's wondering, I would say, you know, if you have a pair of Jordan 13s, go with that size. Those tend to be true. Jordan 7s also, so these fit a lot like that. You might even be able to go half size down for those of you who like a snug fit, especially if you're planning on using these for performance reasons. All right, these are currently available online. You can get these at Finish Line. You can also find them at all the foot stores, so Foot Action, Foot Locker, and East Bay. Some of them will like play with the color availability, so you might have one store that only has like one certain colorway and the other one has another. But I think these are showing up at all of the foot stores. I think the white and Carolina blue colorway is one of the ones that shows up at certain places, and other places it doesn't. But nonetheless, you can get these right now. I believe the retail on these is $140 US. You might be able to even get these on discount, because not a lot of people are always checking for these, but this is a solid retro for the Jordan Jumpman Team 1. You know, I think this was like something that definitely needed to happen, and I'm glad that it did, because now I can get a chance to own these bad boys, and I can't wait to put these to foot. Let me know what you guys think of these. Who's feeling the nostalgic factor with the Jordan Jumpman Team 1s the way I am? If you got these in person, what do you guys think about the quality, the materials, or build, or any of that stuff? Does it take you back to 97 like it does me? So that pretty much wraps it up in terms of the review for these. So thanks for kicking it with your boy Kanye for another review with Invented Kicks. Be sure to follow us on Instagram. You can follow myself at Kanye, KANYIZZY, and you can follow Invented Kicks as well at Invented Kicks. Until next time, y'all.